Hi guys, welcome back. Fun one today. If you're a little bit like me, I'm definitely a little bit lazy when it comes to cleaning the grooves when I'm playing, but I also love a bit of data. So with the GC3, I'm going to do a little test and see how much spin we lose or gain with the dirty faces, with a wet ball, also launch angles, all things like that. So little test, check some data out and see how much performance I'm losing, and I should get cleaning these clubs a lot more often. Right, let's get to it. Right guys, so for the test, I'm just going to hit my 54 degree, looking to chip around 100 yard. Definitely a mud all in the grooves. This is with the dry ball. So let's clip a few and see what happens with the data. All right, first shot, spin numbers, definitely interesting, but we'll go through the data fully at the end. So let's clip a few more. Still plenty of mud on the grooves. Couple more. I was clipped. Felt that go up the grooves. Let's see how good these grooves are. These wedges also, they are getting ready to be replaced this year, to be honest, but we'll still see what happens in the test. One more with the dry ball and the muddy grooves. Come on. That should be the 100 number. Right guys, test two. So we're gonna keep the muddy face, but we're gonna add the wet ball. So when we're out on the course, don't clean the clubs and there's moisture on the ball. Let's check those spin numbers, launch angles. Still plenty of mud in these grooves, wet ball. Still a line ball, controlling that face well, but wow. Spin numbers, I'll show you in a bit, but wow. Another spray, still mud all in these grooves. We are using a premium ball as well here, so with the lower end balls, what a slightly low spinner, I can see these numbers dropping even further, right? Again, whew. All right, one more. Definitely a wet ball. Luckily it's placing in fairways in the winter here in the UK, but in the rough, I can see why we get a few flyers out here. Right, one more clip. Struck it nice. A little bit more spin on that one. Right, back in the mode guys, better go clean this club, so on to the next test. Right guys, wedge all cleaned, all dry. So next experiment is clean club face, but with the wet ball. Let's see what happens on those dewy mornings. Same again, clean grooves, clip 100, 105 yards. Feel the moisture back on the club, but once you've hit it, let's wet them balls. Let's dry that face. Grooves are clean, right. Clipped. 101 yards. Last one on here, guys. I'll go through the data at the end, but so the numbers are showing what I thought, but it's always good to go back it up and actually see data for real. Definitely love a bit of tech, love a bit of data. Always want to learn a bit of knowledge. Right, last one. Are the clean grooves working their magic? Interesting. Right guys, part 4 of the test, perfect conditions, clean, dry club face, dry ball, so perfect golf conditions. Let's see what those spin numbers are with this. Could be a mental thing, but it feels grippy already. Third one, make sure it's still dry, definitely dry. Right guys, that's the test done. Time to go check the data. As my little boy would say, as he loves a bit of science, what is your hypothesis? Let me know in the comments below what we're thinking, spin, launch angles, and we'll go and look at the data now. Right guys, data collected, so let's go check the data out, see how much performance I'm actually losing by being a little bit lazy and not cleaning my wedges properly when I'm playing. So let's check this out. So the first data I was really interested today to check out using the GC3 was the spin. So in terms of spin, definitely a couple of surprising results. So for the dirty club with the dry ball, it was still spinning at just under 9,200. So the clean club, dry ball, perfect conditions, spinning at 9,341. But surprisingly, the clean club with the wet ball was spinning a little bit higher, which I did not expect. The only thing I did see though, a few weeks ago, I saw a Phil Mickelson clip going through all these different carry yardages, and he actually said something about moisture on the club was adding spin. So that's one thing I did not really know. And in terms of spin, the one which I expected, but definitely low, is the dirty club with the wet ball. The worst conditions for the wedge play. Spin jumping to 5,800 with a standard deviation of 1,200. So that shows dirty clubs, wet balls, definitely not going to get much spin out of there. So in terms of spin experiment, a dirty club, a wet ball, definitely a no-no for controlling those yardages in terms of spin. But from the other ones, it shows with the dirty club and the dry ball, it shows that the grooves are still doing the job and my wedges are getting slightly worn out. So with better, newer wedges, I can see those spin numbers jumping up even higher. So that shows how good the technology in the wedges are now, that even when the grooves have still got plenty of dirt in, still no excuse not for me to clean those grooves, but it shows they are still performing when the ball is in a drier condition. So in terms of launch angle, again, the 3 balls with the 3 spins are very similar. They were launching at between 25, 26 degrees, so nice launch angles there. But the dirty club, the wet ball was actually the highest launch, which for some of you think it's good that it's coming in higher, which I guess with the lower spin actually does help because you either stop the ball with elevation, trajectory or spin. So with the low spin, at least it's coming a little bit higher. But it also probably shows that the ball is not having chance to grip onto the club with the grooves, riding up the face, launching too high. So interesting there, which you can see on the graph as well. So there's the blue or the aquamarine. That's definitely up there. Right, so in terms of carry and ball speed, the carry distance were pretty similar, but the clean club dry ball was carrying a couple of yards further. And also there was a little jump in ball speed. So you probably see that the ball was interacting with the club and the grooves to have better efficiency, to increase that ball speed. So that's where the extra carry distance, because the spin numbers are the same, the launching is pretty much the same. So that's where it shows that extra grip has probably equated to the extra ball speed. So the worst performing in all levels, dirty club, wet ball, 81 miles an hour. So definitely a drop off in there. Right guys, fun little video there. Hope you found that interesting. I definitely did. I definitely love things all tech and I love a bit of data, always looking to learn. Nice to see the numbers. Hope you enjoyed it and maybe learned a little bit something as well. So I think the moral of the data is that I definitely need to take more time to clean my wedges, but also we need to be keeping our balls dry. Right, till next time guys.